It's Fossil Friday, and what better way to celebrate than by soaring back through time with one of the most iconic, prehistoric creatures ever discovered, Archaeopteryx. This legendary fossil, immortalized in fine-grained limestone from the late Jurassic period, isn't just a relic of the deep past, it is a symbol of one of the most important scientific revelations in human history. When Archaeopteryx was first described in 1861, it caused a shockwave in the scientific community and beyond. Here, at last, was what many considered a missing link, a tangible, stone-locked bridge between two worlds, the reptilian dominance of the Mesozoic and the avian grace of the modern skies. Its discovery came just 2 years after the publication of Charles Darwin's groundbreaking work on the origin of species. Darwin's revolutionary theory of evolution by natural selection was still hotly debated, and opponents challenged it fiercely for its perceived lack of transitional fossils. Then, as if summoned by history itself, Archaeopteryx emerged from the lithographic limestone quarries of Solnhofen, Bavaria, Germany, presenting an undeniable testament to the gradual transformations written in nature over millions of years. To Darwin's supporters, it was nothing short of vindication. To skeptics, a mystery that could no longer be ignored. A fossil like no other. What made Archaeopteryx so extraordinary were the unique details that became visible when its fossils were cleaned and examined. These specimens were not just bones, they were snapshots of evolutionary ingenuity. The fossils displayed exquisitely preserved wings and feathers, delicate as lace, clearly showing barbs and shafts that were virtually identical to those of modern birds. Yet alongside these avian traits were unmistakably reptilian features: sharp teeth set in its jaws, a long bony tail, and 3 clawed fingers on each wing. This fascinating blend of traits made Archaeopteryx a paleontological chimera, part bird, part dinosaur, and completely revolutionary at a time when the concept of evolution was still contentious. Here was a creature that blurred the sharp boundaries humans had drawn between categories of life. It wasn't a bird as we know birds today, but neither was it simply a small dinosaur. It was something in between, a bridge species, a living chapter in the story of life adapting and transforming over millions of years. Fly towards something like it. One of the most enduring debates about Archaeopteryx centers on its ability to fly. The presence of well-developed feathers suggests that it could, at the very least, fly at short distances. However, its skeletal structure tells a more complex story. Unlike modern birds, its breastbone sternum lacked the keel needed for the attachment of strong flight muscles. Its shoulder joints also limited the range of motion necessary for the full wing beats seen in powered flight today. This evidence suggests that Archaeopteryx may have been more of a climber and glider than a true flyer, perhaps taking short bursts of flapping flight from tree to tree or using its wings for balance while running across the ground. Some scientists compare it to modern birds like pheasants or turkeys, which can fly short distances but spend most of their time on the ground. Even so, the evolutionary significance of these early experiments in flight is profound. The adaptation seen in Archaeopteryx paved the way for the incredible diversity of avian flight strategies that would evolve in the millions of years to come. From the soaring albatross to the hovering hummingbird, a brain built for balance. Recent studies using advanced imaging techniques have provided another layer of insight into this prehistoric pioneer. CT scans of Archaeopteryx skulls have revealed that its brain was more bird-like than dinosaur-like. It had a relatively large cerebellum and vestibular system, regions associated with balance, spatial orientation, and coordination. These adaptations would have been critical for any animal navigating a three-dimensional environment, whether swooping between branches or balancing along uneven terrain. This neural architecture suggests that, even if Archaeopteryx wasn't the strongest flyer, it had already begun to evolve the sensory and motor abilities that would one day define its avian descendants. The Solnhofen treasure, the quarries of Solnhofen, where the first Archaeopteryx fossil was discovered, are as remarkable as the creature itself. During the late Jurassic, around 150 million years ago, this region of present-day Germany was a tropical archipelago surrounded by shallow seas. The fine-grained limestone that formed there was deposited in calm, low-oxygen lagoons that prevented scavengers and bacterial decay. As a result, fossils from Solnhofen are often preserved in stunning detail, capturing even the soft tissues of ancient organisms. The first Archaeopteryx fossil, known as the London specimen, was unearthed in 1861 and quickly purchased by the British Museum. Over the years, 12 specimens have been found, each adding new details to the evolving picture of this species. Some show more complete skeletons, while others reveal delicate impressions of feathers or previously unknown aspects of its anatomy. Archaeopteryx and the dinosaur bird connection. Before Archaeopteryx, birds were often considered completely separate from reptiles in both form and ancestry. But this fossil, with its unmistakable blend of traits, forced scientists to reconsider. Over time, as more fossils were discovered, particularly of feathered theropod dinosaurs in China, paleontologists began to see that birds are not merely related to dinosaurs. They are dinosaurs, the only surviving lineage of theropods, a group that includes iconic predators like Velociraptor and Tyrannosaurus rex. Archaeopteryx sits near the root of that evolutionary tree, a testament to the deep and unbroken connection between the thunderous age of dinosaurs and the songbirds that flit through our backyards today. Its story reminds us that evolution is not a straight line, but a complex, branching process of experimentation, adaptation, and survival, a symbol of scientific discovery. Beyond its anatomical importance, Archaeopteryx holds a special place in the history of science as a symbol of intellectual courage and curiosity. Its discovery came in a time of profound upheaval in how humans understood their place in the natural world. To many Victorians, the idea that species could change over time was unsettling. Archaeopteryx, with its half-bird, half-reptile form, challenged people to expand their understanding of nature and to accept that the world is not fixed, but in constant motion. In the more than 160 years since that first fossil was pulled from the limestone, Archaeopteryx has become an icon not just of paleontology, but of the very process of discovery. It reminds us that science is a journey, one that often begins with a single, surprising clue and leads to revelations that reshape our understanding of life itself. Modern insights, technology meets prehistory today. More than a century and a half after its discovery, Archaeopteryx continues to captivate both scientists and the public. Museum exhibits featuring its fossils draw crowds of visitors eager to see the first bird, while paleontologists still debate aspects of its biology, from its flight capabilities to its exact place on the dinosaur bird family tree. But perhaps the most powerful legacy of Archaeopteryx is its reminder that evolution is a process written in stone, one that we can trace with patience, curiosity, and a willingness to question what we think we know. It is a story that stretches from the lagoons of Jurassic Bavaria to the skies above us today, where birds descendants of creatures like Archaeopteryx continue to thrive in virtually every environment on Earth. From fossil to future, every new generation of scientists approaches Archaeopteryx with fresh questions, driven by better tools and deeper insights into evolutionary biology. It has become more than a fossil. It is a benchmark, a key piece in the puzzle of how life adapts and survives. Its delicate feathers, its primitive wings, and its reptilian teeth speak to the messy, marvelous process of change that underlies all life on this planet. So as we celebrate Fossil Friday, take a moment to imagine Archaeopteryx not just as a static skeleton frozen in rock, but as a living creature gliding through the humid Jurassic air, its feathers catching the sunlight, a prototype for the countless species of birds that would follow. It is a testament to resilience, adaptation, and the endless creativity of evolution, a story still being written, even 150 million years later. Thanks for coming along on this journey through time. Don't forget to share your thoughts about Archaeopteryx down in the comments. What do you find most intriguing about this remarkable creature? And what other prehistoric wonders would you like to see brought to light in future episodes? Your comments inspire us, so please keep them coming. And remember, if you're passionate about prehistoric creatures, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We've got plenty more adventures through time waiting for us. Until next time, keep looking up at the sky and let your imagination soar like a prehistoric bird. Thanks for joining me. See you next time.